Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. Now in this particular video, we'll be solving some trigonometric questions. They are related with May-June 2025. So let's get started. Let's look at the first question. It says express 5 sine bracket x plus pi by 6 minus 4 cosine x in this format, where r is positive and alpha lies between 0 and pi by 2. State the exact value of r and give the value of alpha correct to 3 decimal places. Now, first of all, as soon as you read it, you should realize that we have to solve this in the radian form. And the calculator should be in the radian mode. If this alpha was lying between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, then it would be about degrees. So that's the first thing you should take care of. Second thing, apply the addition formula sine A plus B, that is sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. Simplify it, and once it's simplified, the sine x remains as it is, the cosine simplifies, and make sure it's written in the proper order. If it's starting with a sine and we are converting it to a sine, then this coefficient is your A, the first coefficient is your A, and the second coefficient is your B. The negative has no effect except a negative in the middle gives a negative over here. That's it. So make sure it's written in the proper order, starting with sine, converting to sine. That's the way I do it. And this first coefficient is A, the second coefficient is B. Apply the Pythagoras, you get root 21. That's the exact answer in the third form. And in radians, alpha is 3 over 2 divided by this. Use a calculator, write the unrounded value, then the 3dp value. That is how the conversion is done. The next one, hence solve this equation. Now over there it was x, now it's 2 theta. So everything else remains the same. This thing over here, root 21 is the same. This thing over here, 0.3335 remains the same. I'm using unrounded value. And except for x, it is 2 theta over here. This 2 theta becomes 2 theta and so on. That is how we work it out. Now, as soon as we reach this particular stage, now this is a P1 trigonometric question. There are 4 steps involved over here. The first one is about the quadrant. Sign is positive in first and second. Second step is the modification of the range. 2 theta lies between 0 and 2 pi because original theta lies between 0 and pi. And then we are subtracting negative 0.3335 and so on. That is how you have to take care of it. The third step, it's about the basic angle beta. So therefore, beta is this much. And then the fourth step is working towards the final answer. So now this thing, it's in the first quadrant. Theta is equals to beta, the first quadrant, and pi minus beta, that's in the second quadrant. Make sure these two values are within these limits. Yes, they are. Nothing to worry. Make theta the subject. That's how you get this answer. So the first question is done and dusted. That was from May-June 2025 variant 31. This is now 32. Let me go over here. So now this question, it says solve the equation 3 cot x minus 4 cot 2x is equals to 3. X lies between 0 and 180 degrees inclusive. Now this has to be done in degrees. So if your calculator is in the radian mode, convert it back. Cot is written as 1 over tan cot 2x. That is 1 over tan 2x. Tan 2x is 2 tan x over 1 minus tan square x. Therefore, cot 2x should be 1 minus tan square x over 2 tan x, 1 minus tan square x over 2 tan x. And yes, do one thing. Let the examiner know that we are writing tangent x as t. This is my instruction. You can follow it as long as you make it clear to the examiner, no issue. The rest of the working is simplification, middle term factorization, solving using the P1 method, taking care of the quadrants, taking care of the basic angle, and that is the final answer. Now this thing is done. Let me move to the next one. I think there is another question in the same paper. Yes, there is. So now this is compound angle formula, 7 sine theta, 24 cos theta. Now it's being converted to cos. Now be very, very careful. If it's being converted to cos, write this thing first, write this thing next. So now over here, this is your A and this one is your B, and we are writing this is B, this is A, and yes, we are converting it to R, we are converting it to alpha. So now this is your A, this is your B, again re-emphasizing cos converted to cos. Some people, they also do a good job. They expand this thing and then do comparing coefficient. I personally prefer this way. Hence we find the value of R, we find the value of alpha. So value of alpha is this much. And over here, the value of R is exact 25. It's not a square root of 25, it is 25. Now look over here. This time they have written that alpha lies between 0 and pi by 2. Again, we are working in radians, so be very, very alert, very, very careful. Now this thing is done. The next part. Now this time they have changed it. Again, have a look. Over here, it's theta. Now it's converted into 1/3 x. In the previous question, it was x converted to 2 theta. So now this thing remains the same. This 0.2838 remains the same. This thing remains the same, 25. And now what has changed? This has changed. This 1/3 x has changed. This is 1/3 x, 1/3 x. So that is technically in place of theta. Everything else remains the same. And once we reach the stage, again, we are back to P1. So now the first step, what is the first step? That is about the quadrants. This is cosine, positive in first and fourth. The second step, modification of range, x lies between 0 and pi. 1/3 x lies between 0 and 1/3 pi. And this is the final thing. 1/3 x minus 0.2838 lies between these two values. Now the third step, that is calculation of the basic angle. Yes, you should write the statement. It's a good idea. Let beta be the basic angle. Usually I use the symbol alpha, but that was already taken care of. And what is the basic angle? That's the acute angle with the x-axis. So now beta comes out to be this much radians. And now have a good look. 1/3 x minus this thing. Now we are working towards the final step. Now when I'm writing two answers, this is the first quadrant answer. This is 2 pi minus basic angle. So now this thing was outside of the range. So what should I do? So instead of going anti-clockwise, go clockwise. Let me show you with a sketch. So now let me make it straight first. Thank you. And then the next one, that is over here. So now if I go this thing like this, if this is beta, this is 2 pi minus beta, that is anti-clockwise. So what's the alternative? The alternative is minus beta. Basically, that is what I've done over here. Then you make x the subject, take this negative on the other side, add it up. Let me highlight it. This is being added, this is being added. And then multiply by 3. So the very, very final answer is this much, correct to 3 significant figures. This thing is done. And then which one do we have? So now this one is this particular one. And then let's have a look. So now this is May, June 2025, variant 33. Let me look at this question. Now this was about proving an identity. So now it says prove the identity cot square theta minus tan square theta is 4 cot 2 theta cosec 2 theta. Cot, cos over sine. Tan, sine over cos. Square, square. That is step number 1. Second step is LCM. Third step is taking care of this. So now over here, this is cos square, this is sine square, isn't this something like this? Like this is like a power 4 minus b power 4, that is a square plus b square, a square minus b square. So technically this is cos power 4 minus sine power 4, that is cos square plus sine square, cos square minus sine square. That is exactly what this is happening. This becomes 1. Cos square minus sine square, isn't that cos 2 theta? Yes, you have the formula booklet MF19. You can refer to it. I remember it. Sine theta, cos theta. What have I done over here? We know that sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos theta. Therefore, just this much sine theta cos theta. This is half sine 2 theta. Don't forget the square. And then the simplification is right over here. So this 1/4 flip, it goes up. Cos 2 theta, sine 2 theta, sine 2 theta, cos over sine s. This is cot 1 over sine s cosec 2 theta. So let's count the number of steps. So technically this is step 1, step 2, step 3, and this is step 4, this is step 5, this is step 6, this is step 7. This is the final answer. So 7 steps. Yes, it was slightly more involved, not difficult, but more involved, but still you're getting 4 marks, sometimes 4, sometimes 3, and so on. The next one, now we have to solve this equation. Now always double check, have they changed anything? Cot square x minus tan square x. This is cot square theta minus tan square theta. Theta is replaced with x. So that becomes this thing. That becomes this thing. This is 5 sec 2x. So now this is what is changing. And yes, there is double angle. Theta becoming 2 theta. Theta becoming 2 theta. So x becoming 2x. Let me highlight it. This is x, this is x, this is 2x, this is 2x, this is 5 sec 2x. Now cot 2x is cos 2x over sin 2x. Cosec 2x is 1 over sin 2x. Sec 2x is 5 over cos 2x. And then cross multiply, take common. There is nothing common. So basically sine square over cos square, that is tan square. This is what you get. Tan square 2x is this much, tangent 2x is plus minus because you are taking the square root. The answer in all 4 quadrants, that is step number 1. Answer in all 4 quadrants. Second thing, x lies between 0 and 90. Modification of range, 2x lies between 0 and 180. So technically we'll be using the first 2 quadrants only. The third step, calculation of basic angle, it's in degrees. You get 41.81. Work in 2 dp, final answer 1 dp. Final answer, working towards it, and this is the final answer. I've also attached the mark scheme. So now 1, 2, 3, and I think this is the 4th one. And let's look at this thing, at this question. Now another question involving identity and equation, that's part and parcel. 3 cot theta minus 4 cosec square theta plus 5 equals to 0. Theta lies between negative pi and positive pi. So again, this is calculator in radian mode, angle in radians. Cot remains as it is. Cosec square, 1 plus cot square is cosec square. So cosec square is replaced with 1 plus cot square. Again, it's middle term factorization. That's the heart and soul of math. So now cot theta equals to 1. We don't have a button of cot in the calculator, so we use tangent. Cot and tangent, they are reciprocal. Reciprocal of 1 remains as 1. First quadrant, third quadrant, theta lies between minus pi and positive pi. That's the basic angle. So now this is between 0 and pi. That is the first quadrant. And 0 and negative pi. 0 and negative pi. So now we are interested in the third quadrant. So this basic angle is pi by 4, but we have to go clockwise. That is negative 3 pi by 4. Cot theta is negative 1/4. Tangent theta is negative 4. Second and fourth quadrant. So again, we are going from 0 till pi, 0 till negative pi. In the second quadrant, tangent is positive. So therefore, that is the basic angle, pi minus the basic angle. And in the fourth quadrant, this is negative of the basic angle. Negative of the basic angle, that's the final answer. 2 answers in terms of radians, 2 answers in decimals. Decimal ones, final answer correct to 3 significant figures. These are exact, these are exact. So that is where the buck stops. That is May, June 2025, variant 31, 32, 33, 35. All the questions related with trigonometry, whether it's the addition formula, whether it's the double angle formula, whether it's about the compound angle formula, whether it's about proving identities or using identities and using equation, everything is taken care of. Let me know in the comment section what else, what kind of other questions do you like me to solve.